So thank you for those responses, and with such a mixed bag of responses, right from the part where you make the candidate join, the part where you conduct it, to assessing them. It feels like there's a lot going on, right? If you were to conduct a campus hiring drive, you may have to don multiple hats, and especially if you're a small team, it might feel as chaotic as you see on the screen. But that being said, if you have a plan in place, it is easy to ace your campus hiring drive. So how do you do that? That's exactly what we're going to see next. So while it's all about plannings and systems, we recommend that you finalize your hiring requirements. And by finalizing the requirements, we mean you check in with all of your teams, their hiring managers, and try to be as granular with what the team needs, whether it is the skill set, the job description, the budget for hiring for that role, everything that you would need to know. But the key takeaway here is not just finalizing those requirements, but do it at least 2 months before the placement season, so that when the time is right to reach out to the colleges, you have everything ready and shareable with you. Just like we say, early bird catches the worm, the recruiter with the best plan would likely get the best students as well. So that's why we recommend hiring your requirements early on. Then once you have the requirements, think about the hiring funnel. Think about qualitatively how you would need to fill in the number of candidates that you want to hire for. So if you were to look about it from the number of positions you have and how many candidates you need for it, we've typically seen that you need about 30 students to fill in one position. And if you conduct a campus drive in one college, you get about 150 students for that drive. This is, of course, very subjective to the kind of college you approach and the kind of role that you're hiring for. But this is the typical estimate that we've seen. And bearing this in mind, say again, you're hiring for 10 positions, then of course you would at least need to have 300 students in the pipeline. And going by the average of 150 students from every college, you would need to approach at least 2 colleges, right? And this is sort of a very simple formula to look at the quantity or the volume of students that you're planning to deal with. You can, of course, scale it up and down based on the requirements that you have. The next thing is selecting your criteria. Now that you're aware of the numbers, the requirements, you would definitely have some criteria in mind. This could be specific to your company, specific to the role that you're hiring for. So some of the basic things to look at would be, of course, what are the colleges segregated by the departments they have, how many students are there in every department, and what is their placement season like. I'm sure some of you are familiar that some colleges have their campus placements open all year round, whereas some of them have a very specific duration within which they conduct it. So make sure that you know all of that and you have it in place. Now, that being said, you know what you want, but you want to communicate it to the colleges that you have the need for it, right? So how do you communicate with them? In today's world, we have plenty of avenues to communicate, right? You can do emails, phones, websites, and there are even WhatsApp communities for training and placement cells. But we do recommend that emails do work the best as a channel for communication, because all the training and placement cells and faculty are very diligent with responding to emails. So we would definitely recommend emails as the first approach. Even if you plan to take a multi-pronged approach and use the other avenues, do make sure that you are using emails.